All right, have and have not fans. I don't know if this has been one of the more requested videos, but I would say that if I had to look through all my comments again, like I did before recording this, I would say this was probably in the top 5 in terms of videos people wanted me to do. I have to say that this is an easy thing to, I guess you could say, label or title. The Veronica and Candice team up is going to be dangerous. Now, here's what I mean by this. Remember in the finale of the episode, we have, Candice just sitting in the restaurant part of the hotel she's staying in, and Veronica walks up, pretty much just lays out on the table in terms of, look, I don't like you, you don't like me, that's fine, whatever. But the cops are here to arrest you for the murder of Quincy Maxwell, so they could just take you away right now, or you can let me in on this little scheme you have between you, Erika, getting back at David. And then she even points out the fact that, hey, I've been watching everything. I had this camera in the vase because I know, like, street trash like that will throw out the flowers but keep the vase regardless. And I had a camera in there. And I wanted to know how you figured out that Erika was two-timing you. So people have been talking about the fact that, yeah, Candace didn't want anything to do with it in terms of, look, I don't want anything to do with you. This is my plan. Then Candace gets arrested. Veronica comes to the jail, sees her in the cell, like, look, you can get out of here, but you gotta let me in. Candace agrees. Veronica goes to court, nails it. And of course, we know what happens between, her, Justin, and Jeffrey, but that's not the point of this video. And that's it. We see the car wreck. Now, the reason, and again, I'll put it this way. Aside from Veronica being the main reason people watch the show, the fact that they finally gave us the team up that we've been wanting. I'm not going to lie. Fans have been saying that, oh my God, what if Candace and Veronica ever teamed up on the show? What couldn't they accomplish? Since I would say maybe season 2, season 3. I dare say it goes even as far back as season 1 when Jim and Candace have sex in his office at work in the courthouse. And I believe Veronica confronts Candace about taking a hoe bath. I think that was around the time that she had David followed, and then the person following him took photos of him delivering the red sports car to Candace at the law school. Yeah, I think that's it. And that's right, because Veronica thought that David was cheating on her. It was during that time they had their first verbal exchange, and right there, I remember talking with my mom, and I think this was around the time I had either first started my blog or I was tweeting a lot, which I still do now, obviously. But yeah, we always thought about, what if those two ever teamed up? Because I remember, hey, instead of messing with these married men, you ought to look for a nice young man around your age like my son. Well, not my son. And then of course that's when Candace retorts with, oh no, he's not into girls. Like, basically she knew that he's gay. And then that left that, I guess you could say, that took the smug look right off Veronica's face. Remember, during those early seasons, like, Veronica can get in your face, tell you off, but if you even mention or hinted at Jeffrey being gay, that would just shut her up right on the spot. Now, what I'm saying is the fact that those two are teaming up, that's probably the best lifeline in terms of, yeah, there's no way they're going to kill Veronica off given the fact that she and Candace are going to team up. I feel like Tyler Perry is smart enough not to do that, because can you imagine how many fans would be pissed off to have Veronica dead right after the team up we've always wanted is about to happen? So depending on how depending on how Veronica's situation is after the wreck could determine a few things, because imagine if she loses that child, the grandchild, despite Melissa, she is going to go off the deep end. Then you look at the fact that Candace just lost her child. She's already in a very heated emotional state. And even in the little teaser trailer we got, Veronica wasn't in there, obviously, to show the fans that, okay, we're not going to reveal whether or not Veronica survived in this trailer. There might be more intel in the next trailer we get, but I want to be honest here. I don't think Veronica is going to be in the trailer unless she's in the hospital, or if we see like the paramedics and police at the scene of the car wreck. And then and again, I've said this in my other video, but here's my quote unquote theory. I bet there's going to be cops and whatever, and the, like, ambulance around, looking at the car, trying to open the doors, and then they'll say like, oh my god, she's dead, but they won't reveal or show us who it is. Remember, there's Melissa and there's Veronica, so I bet if somebody says, oh my god, this doesn't look good, or she's dead, they can be referring to one or the other. So I feel like that would be a great way to throw that into the trailer if they write it in there. Well, Tyler Perry, boom, there's an idea. Now, what I'm saying is those two are going to be in a very emotional state, which actually is very dangerous, because remember how calm, cool, and collected and calculating these women are. The best part about it is Veronica has connections that Candace doesn't have, because Veronica is like the older version of Candace if she went into law school. Remember that Candace is in law school. She was at the point where she could take the bar exam because of that letter that Professor Cannon wrote for her to let her take the bar, and if she passes, she's a lawyer. And he's like, I've done this before. But remember that Candace lost that letter because that's after what, she got the letter before. Yeah, that's when Amanda was creeping on Professor Cannon. He gave her the letter like, look, tell Amanda to leave me alone. Here's this letter. You can take the bar exam. But remember that everything was at the apartment after after Candace was abducted by the Malones. She got back, then found that Jim had it, those movers clean out everything, Amanda's stuff and Candace's, so the letter is gone. So with that being said, she even called Cannon maybe a couple of seasons ago. I believe that was when she was staying at the Sarandon Hotel. And he's like, look, you little pervert, I need another letter to get to the bar exam. But that's after he was killed by Jim. Well, not by Jim directly, but by the Malones, you know, basically during his bloodbath. So right now, Candace doesn't have her insta-fix, her pretty much her get out of law school free card here. But if she ever put that tenacity she has on the streets and, you know, being a prostitute and whatnot, if she took all that blackmailing and extorting energy into law school, as Hannah said, she could be one of the best lawyers in the country, which is what Veronica is. So I'd say that given the fact that Candace has the street level help of a have-not, Veronica has this, you know, the have resources, if you will. So those two put together is a very dangerous combination. And what I like most about it is the fact that this gives Candace a perfect opportunity to not be the baddest bitch in the room that she thinks she is. Yes, there are things she can do that Veronica can't, but at the same time, this is an experienced woman right here. This isn't some little girl trying to play an adult game. If anything, and again, this is if Candace can like well, I doubt this will happen. There's no way you can put Veronica and Candace in the same room with the same purpose, and then the only way of getting that purpose is those two to work together. There's no way the two of them can work together without there being some smart aleck remarks going at each other. There's no shade there. To put it this way, there can be no darkness in a room whatsoever. It'll become 100% light, and they'll still find a way to throw shade at each other. If their shadows are gone, if there were no shadows, it was just those two in a room, and it was nothing but light, those two will find some way to throw shade at each other. That's just like a combo, like if the freaking Joker and Batman, or even Batman or Superman team up, there's always shade being thrown, even if their purpose is the same. So what I'm saying here is those two teaming up is going to be extremely dangerous, because again, it's not so much what they're going to do to David. Remember in the trailer, Candace said like, I'm going to get back at every one of those sons of bitches, Jim Cryer, freaking David Harrington. Then she mentions her, so that's probably her mom. Some people have been theorizing it could be Erika too. I don't know, but the fact that Erika is still a pawn to Candace in terms of getting David's money. Here's another question: if Veronica does get involved with helping Candace out, who's to say that Erika's even needed now? Remember, he's still Veronica's husband. So given Veronica's resources and the fact that they're still going to divorce court, it would not surprise me if Erika is now expendable, because I bet that Candace is still pissed that, hey, she's working with war, and then Veronica's still pissed and like, she's been screwing my husband. They'll probably knock her off and then just say, you know what, I'll handle it, you know, we'll work together and I'll get the money and this kind of stuff. It would not surprise me if Erika dies in the next season. I'm just throwing that out there. Literally, I'm just throwing it out there. Because when you really think about it, she has no other point right now aside from being a love interest for David. But if she had any sense, she would just, you know what? This is a good man. He has a lot of money. My boyfriend is now dead, as well as most of it. Well, if not, isn't. I don't know if it's the entirety of Warlock's crew, but let's just say maybe his top lieutenants. They're all dead. I might as well relax with this secure setting I'm in right now. And the worst possible thing that can happen is Veronica and Candace try to take everything he's got. But all I'm saying is it would not surprise me if Erika gets bumped off in the next season. So again, I'm just throwing that theory out there. Now, I guess you could say the real question is, what can these two not do? Because you think about all the resources and connection Candace and Veronica both have. Not to mention, as Mitch pointed out, Mama Rose owes Candace a favor. So if it comes down to it, she might actually pull that favor to get back at Jim or David. And remember, there's no love between Jim and Catherine and then Veronica. So if Candace says, I want to get revenge against everybody, Veronica will just throw her hat in the ring like, look, let's do it. I mean, they'll probably go their separate ways at the end of all this, but those two together would just take down Savannah, Georgia. So again, just throwing that out there, this will be an interesting plot. Oh, also, if Veronica is in the hospital or whatever after the wreck, I wonder what Candace will do. Will she go to see her? But I feel like she'll be too preoccupied with the Quincy Jr. situation and maybe Charles coming back in that those two are I feel like Candace and Veronica is probably like, look, don't call me, I'll call you. Like I know where to find you. You don't know where I'm staying. No, I know how to find you if I need you. So just throwing that out there. What do you think will happen next season when these two team up? And again, this is me literally saying that, look, I don't think Veronica's dead. There's no way they'll hint at those two teaming up and then it not happening. So let me know your thoughts on what's going to go down in next season with those two. And I'll catch you later. I mean, heck, another thing on this last minute, I just thought about this. What if she tries to get back at Oscar? Oh my God, Veronica will be screwed. I mean, Veronica and Candace together, Oscar will be screwed. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.